Okay, so moving along into UK2, I guess we should go back to what did Germany do. Germany round 2. After our setup, you can pretty much see what he did. He went ahead and took Caucasus, of course. But the main thing is he built 10 infantry, 3 artillery. He's going into grind mode to build up for the Moscow attack, realizing he can't just blitz tanks the whole time. If you're interested in some history of a similar game between Mats and I, he did the same tank build, slightly different like infantry build, but he still had 5 tanks on G1, and we did an accelerated KJF. That time we did a C-Zone 37 KJF. I think that's why because he took his battleship out to 13 back then. This time he took his battleship to 17. I think he did that based off of our last game and realizing my strategy that way. So this game, it may not be quite as accelerated of a KJF on the Allies side, so I do need to last a little bit longer. But if you're on Discord, if you go to Exhibition Match 1, there is a pinned match between him and I. I think the pins start back in May of this year when we played last time in the team game. I also think I did a recording on that here on my YouTube channel when we faced them in the team match last season. So very similar bit, and the key thing there is he came close to a G8 timing and ended up with a G9 timing. So I imagine in that game he did build a tank early in Italy, like he was playing like a G6, G7. So I'm betting he learns from that and he'll wait just a little bit longer. So it's probably going to be like a G8, G9 timing that I'm going to be planning on him taking Moscow. Just real rough statement there. Things already obviously are going a little bit differently this game, so we're going to see. So my big scenarios, one, I do want to clean up here and don't want to let him just kill my Morocco, so I want to make sure we challenge him in Egypt maybe. And then secondly, we got to make sure that we don't allow him to come into Burma, so we want to make sure we dead zone Burma, which he could have these 5 units plus 4 units from his transport, so he could put 9 ground units in there. So we're hoping we'll have at least 2 fighters down here, and I hope one of my bombers or fighters lives from the 61 attack, so we'll have 3 airplanes, but all we can really count on is 2 airplanes. So ideally, we want to have enough to still counter that. So we're going to want to have like at least 8 ground units that can stare down here, ideally 9. So my transport will have 2 that can combo threatening here and here. So we'll make sure my transport carries 2 guys. We've got 2 in here already. We're going to bring 3 of these guys down. So that was 3, 2, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to only be able to build 1. So we're going to have 8 guys. So it's not going to be ideal. But at the same time, I'm hoping if I wipe these guys, I'm going to have C-Zone 36 dead zone. So for him to put 2 transports in there, he'd be risking them. But if the battleship survives here, that might be an option for him. So I want to prepare for that as well. So we're going to get as close as we can to where we would wipe him if he went there. So we want to have 8 ground units here. So that's going to affect my build. I want to make sure that the transport can grab 2 guys and bring them on over here. And so that's going to affect my transport placement, as you're going to see. And I really want to kind of throw in a mini stack here in essence. So if I bring all 3 of these in my tank and just do it a 4v4, he does have his 3 fighters that I'll hit, but I'm going to be bringing my infantry and tank up here. Plus we'll have our fighters here to help try and challenge that, so that we'll be able to clean up anything after that. But if he goes that way, then he can't go to Morocco. So I want to make him split his forces. So if we put 4, 6 units and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ground with 3 air to do it, there's always a risk he doesn't get the dice that he's looking for there. And lastly, we want to get an Atlantic fleet going. So we don't want to screw up with the battleship. Okay, at least it's not a transport with it this time, so we're not going to do that again. But the battleship does make it a little bit tricky, because even the battleship alone getting out here can pose some issues, especially to the Atlantic fleet ever getting up and going, and a sea lion coming on around and helping bolster a sea lion here. So I really want to pin that battleship now. So the good news is for Sea Zone 7, the only thing that can reach that is this one fighter. So if I can get 3 units that can reach the battleship wherever it can go, which it could come down here to 23, and my carrier that I'm going to build in 7 can't reach it, but my fighters could. So there's 2 units, but we need another unit that can reach it. And as you said, these fighters are going this way, all the rest of my air is going that way. So I need one more boat over here, and it has to be a boat that can't get hit by these 4 fighters, which can hit Sea Zone 8 and battleship, i.e. I need a sub here. So we're going to build a carrier sub for here. Over here, he's got a sub bomber threatening Sea Zone 35. My carrier cruiser by themselves with the fighters could easily survive that. However, if their battleship survives, then they've got sub battleship bomber going there, in which case the cruiser carrier by itself is not necessarily, it's not a great deal. So plus I would like to get rid of this sub out of here, so, and be able to defend subs spawning and spreading out down here. So I want to build a destroyer for the UK as well. So that leads into our build of 1 sub, 1 destroyer, 1 carrier. If things go great in 61 and I don't have to worry about it, I might drop that destroyer up here in Sea Zone 7 as well, rather than down here. I haven't fully decided that, because again, if I just have my cruiser carrier, I can defend against the sub bomber without too much worry. I really wanted to get more ground units than 1, but beggars can't be choosers. We can't do everything at once. So I definitely want to do that. And I definitely want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I absolutely want to do that.
Looks like you're usually really good at adding stuff to your master list.
I figure worst case scenario up here, we can pull back to Arch, leave a guy in West Russia, and stack Caucasus, because we're going to steal there, and we can build there, and we can do that. If I've got enough, we can consider stacking West Russia again and trading Caucasus again, but I'd kind of lean towards trading West Russia instead. Not ideal. I like to keep West Russia with forces there, because it's harder to dead zone otherwise. But I think we're going to have enough that we can still dead zone that, because we're going to have all our Russian units alive, because other than maybe we'll put 1 infantry there, maybe we'll do a grab there. I haven't decided on that. But we'll have these 2 guys coming back. We got 29 IPC, so we're going to have 7 infantry, 2 artillery building, and this guy coming back. They can all put pressure on there. So we're going to have, he said 9 guys build, 10, 11, 12 more guys we're bringing into the dead zone. And I don't think he can really count on bringing his J fighter, all his J fighters over this way if he wants to even put up some fight in the Pacific. All right, I think that is all my attacks. There we go. Got the hit we needed. Alright, this is a big one here. This is what we premised our KJF on. See, I'd love to see what we got. 4, 2 bombers coming in, and the fighters 715. So we need at least 3. I'd love to see 4 hits. Love to see surprise attack work. Two hits. Rattle prattle. He gets 2 hits back. Oy. Okay, so I did a quick simulation on the difference between 2 bombers and a sub versus 2 bombers and a fighter in this battle. You know, the surprise strike, how does that work? How does that pan out? Versus this, versus both subs and a bomber. And at the end of the day, the 2 bombers and a fighter were essentially about the same as a bomber fighter sub, but a fighter can land on my potential carriers. Now, one of these bombers is going to be trashed regardless, so as it comes in, based on how these next round of rolls go, it's still in our favor, but that'll determine what we take for losses. So I'd really 3 hits right now. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. Whiff. All right. That's better than expected. That second round was miraculous dice rolling. So one of them can come back down to here. This guy can be one landed on my carrier. One of these guys can land on my carrier. This bomber, I could put him here. To block the blitz and the 6 fighters hitting these 3 guys. Or I could put him here. I wasn't counting on him living, so this is just kind of a bonus move. Putting him here, you know, he'd have to use his fighter or just, you know, put his guys at risk, because we're going to have really 4 planes now that can target him around this area. I think I'm going to put him here and block the blitz so that if he wants to go after those 3 guys, he's got to go 6 fighters. And this bomber can probably reach 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, he can't. So he just goes 6 fighters or 3 guys, which is very risky. So I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to put our transport here. Him here, him here. Challenge him 4v4. This transport can go, oh no, he can't go 1, 2. Can we put the transport here? Would he survive here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no. I'm going to pause a second. I got to think on this a second. The best positioning here of these troops. So the tricky is I really want to challenge him here. I may end up having to not and just back out and let him hit Morocco and trade here. But I really want to make him think about this. But I need to be able to get extra units to hit here. So we're building 1. So we can bring 3, 5. We'll have 6 infantry there. Oh, wait. Plus, he's only got his 4 boats. We'll have our 3 boats, 2 fighters, a bomber. So we'll wipe him out if he transports there. So we don't have to worry about a hard dead zone. We just need a dead zone against these 6 units then, right? And so we're going to have 6 infantry and a bunch of air, so we're good. We're good like that. So let's bring the cruiser on up here too. We're going to drop the destroyer there. This guy is going to come up here. We do need these guys to land on the carrier. I think I was baiting grabbing this guy, but I don't think it's one person's worth wasting a turn, you know, to grab him real quick. All right, so we got all of that going on. Where do we put this guy? We put him here. 1, 2, 3. He helps dead zone the battleship, so we'd have 3 fighters and the sub that could hit him, or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't work, but 1, 2, 3, 4 does. The carrier could come down, fighters could go wherever. And that lets me have that hit. He can still get to here, and my fighters here can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and drop on a carrier being built. So we'd still have 3 fighters and a bomber and a carrier and a cruiser and a destroyer. So we'll have 3 boats, 3 fighters, and a bomber. So 7 units threatening 61. So he's going to be screwed there. Unless he throws his destroyer down here as a block. And the U.S. is going to eat him up on that side. So I'm sorry. I know this is taking a little bit longer, as I'm actually didn't really think this all the way through. I just started playing, but I think that feels pretty good. Although I don't think I need the transport here as I initially was thinking. We can go ahead and tuck him in here. Worst case scenario, he gets some sort of build-up pressure for in India. I can go 1, grab infantry or to a tank, come back 2 down to here. But here, he can strike Egypt. He can strike this way, so that gives him some flexibility. He can strike DEI. He can come pick up these guys. So that gives him mobility. So he's better off in India. We do want to make sure we're not set to submerge anymore. Where are you? Heck, do I even want to not take quite so many guys this way? I could leave 1 back. So he could put, again, 5 guys there. 1, 2, 3. He won't be able to reach, but we got 2 fighters, so we need 4 guys. We're building 1. So, yeah, we can definitely leave at least 1 guy back. So now we got 4, 5 guys versus his 5 plus air. So, and that gives me 1 that can hit here if or head into this way and help re-support that way. Yeah, I think we're just going to do that. Modification. You know what, just to be safe, case he pulled a desperation move. We're going to do fighter before carrier. In case he decided to take a 50-50 shot on taking out the carrier and then let the fighters land. So we're going to have a sub here. He can cover anywhere where the battleship can go out of there. We'll have 2 fighters that can track him down. 3 down into these zones. Carrier can track him anywhere up here. So we should have enough units to push him back, keep him pinned back in this way. We'll have these guys, which can come into this direction, especially if he doesn't take this. So that's going to help dead zone in here. So we should be getting that battleship a little bit more pinned into place. All right, let's go with it. Ooh, I almost realized for a second there I thought the battleship could get him where the fighters 1, 2, 3, 4. Phew, almost walked, wasn't even paying attention to where that transport was coming. There we go. So this is looking great. He's got 2 subs, a battleship destroyer versus the entire U.S. Navy and a mini UK Navy down here. Even by numbers, we got 5 versus his 5 here. Now he does have 7 Japan guys on land here, which is going to be trouble, and he'll bring 4 more with them. So again, we're pinning him in quickly. And here's what the North Africa situation looks like. Yes, he can kill this, but yes, we got 2 plus a fighter, plus a bomber, plus 2 more fighters and a transport that could recounter it if we need to. Or he can pull back into here, in which case, you know, we'll take care of him eventually. He's got 1 fighter that can hit there. These guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, they cannot. Battleship cannot, so he is safe just as a carrier by himself. And that's our theaters.